Yo,
Hi, Brahim.
hey man, how are you?
Hey, man, nice to meet you finally.
I'm good, man, and nice to meet you too.
First, first and foremost, man, I want to congratulate you on being a new dad, man. Uh,
Yeah, thank you, man.
yeah, because I just had a son like 6 weeks ago. It's six.
Yes,
Yeah, so I know exactly how you feel. You know, it's life changing with a new baby.
yeah, man. It's how can I say? It's good. It's a new step in life.
It's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, just to start off, for those who don't know, can you tell us a little bit about your background and your martial arts background and how you got involved, like started in the world of action cinema?
Well, basically, how I started in martial arts, I saw a movie called First Strike, a Jackie Chan movie.
Mm.
In French, it's called Contre-Attaque. That's how you call it in French. So I watched this movie when I was like 14 years old. And from there it kind of like gave me like the desire to do basically martial arts, watching Jackie Chan perform fight scenes and stunts in that movie. So I started basically with Aikido because there was only Aikido in my area. So then I did karate Wadoryu. Then I discovered tricking through a friend. So basically, from there, I was doing tricking and doing competitions in like it's called extreme forms and musical forms back then. In America, you have like a circuit called NASCAR.
Uh-huh.
That's basically a circuit of like forms, and you have point fighting, you have extreme forms, traditional forms. So I was doing this for like a few years, and then when I started to do movies and all that stuff, then I basically started to do other stuff like Muay Thai because I lived in Thailand for so long, and then I also discovered Brazilian Jiu Jitsu through John Salviti, which I've been doing for 9 years now. I trained also some Kali with a friend of mine who's like he's a very good Kali instructor, so I train with him. So like a little bit of everything, I would say. So it's kind of like a melting pot of many things. Like okay, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. That's it.
Awesome, awesome. Well, let's
Yeah.
let's get in on Monkey Man. So the film just got nothing but praise from the premiere at the South by Southwest. Had a standing
Yeah.
ovation and everything. So congratulations on the great reception for the film.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. So can you tell us a bit about the story of I don't know if it's true that Dave Patel actually found you on YouTube to get you involved with the movie?
Well, there is a little bit more to this. It's
Mhm.
like kind of like yes and no, but mostly yes.
Mm.
But like basically, yeah, it was through YouTube, but it was through a link that basically I have a very good friend of mine called Mike Leader. You know him as well.
Oh, yeah, 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 for
So
sure.
they were, I think Dave and his producer were kind of like asking for different options for people to join the movie because at the time, it was like the whole COVID pandemic stuff. So it was very hard to travel. So first they were in India and then they moved to Indonesia basically. But then they were supposed to bring like some Hollywood stunt guys to do the movie, right? And apparently the border was closed in America, and then they got stuck there with basically nobody to do no action for them for the movie, right?
Oh,
So at the time I was in Thailand, I just got like I just finished doing that premiere for Vanguard. I remember.
mm.
And then I got a call from Mike Leader telling me like, okay, send me some stuff because I'm having this movie in Indonesia. They are looking for like a fight coordinator to join immediately. So I was like, okay, when? He's like, it's gonna be quick. Next week you're gonna have to go there, right?
Wow.
So from there, I had a meeting with Dave because basically he saw two previews that I've done in the past. One it's called Brahim versus Many, where I'm fighting many guys in my old gym in Bangkok, and
Mhm.
there's another one on the bridge where I'm fighting two guys on a bridge. So he saw these two previews and he said to me that he really liked the style, and the violence of that I was bringing on screen, it looked very much like quite realistic, like not over choreographed, but it was straight to the point. That's what he told me. So we had a meeting on Zoom. Then from there, I had another meeting with a producer from Thunder Road, and then from there, that was it. I assembled a team. Basically, I had a previous camera operator called Stephen Rini, and then I had two stunt guys from Thailand, and then we went there with the whole pandemic thing. Like we had to get a visa before we go there. Usually, you don't need a visa to go to Indonesia, but we needed to get a visa to go there because, like they didn't want to give us the visa. I had to go knock at the door of the embassy in Bangkok.
Oh no.
Uh, we took an airplane. I remember a trip that took only 2 hours took me 2 days.
Oh my
Like we
God.
flew to Singapore and then we slept there. We got escorted by the military, I remember. And in the airplane, when we took the plane from Bangkok to Singapore, that was only me and my guys inside. There was a
There's
freaking
nobody.
like airplane, a whole like Boeing 747, completely
Wow.
empty. It was kind of like one of those, like World War Z kind of
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
so it felt this way. So basically, yeah, I got hired through YouTube last minute, but thanks to Mike Leader, of course. He's the one who facilitated all of that. So Mike was basically the kind of like the bridge between me and Dev.
That's so awesome, man. Glad everything worked out the way it did, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I haven't personally seen the film, but it's already getting like a lot of comparison to, of course, John Wick. Everyone's comparing like because John Wick is like the top of the top right now. So everything that's action that's good is always, oh, it's the John Wick version of India's John Wick or whatever like that. But
Yeah.
since you're the action choreographer, so when you were hired, so what was your game plan? Was your focus was to bring something fresh to for the action?
Well, here is how it went. Okay, I got the script. Then
Hmm.
how I work is when I get the script, I sit down and I open the script. I look every fight scene there is in the every single one in the script. Okay. Then I focus on, let's say, one fight scene and I choreograph it not on paper but in my head. So I come up with the whole thing in my head, like how it's gonna be, like what are the moves, what are like the different aspects that we're gonna use, how is their hero gonna be? Is he gonna be vulnerable? Is he gonna be winning? Is he gonna be losing? And I'm following the script. I'm giving it a little bit of what I think is good. For
Hmm.
example, like I also like to use certain stuff like from, let's say, from MMA fights that I saw in the past. I like to use certain stuff that I see in real fights,
Hmm.
MMA fights, or even a street fight. I like to see stuff and I like to adapt it. So it kind of like give this a feeling of like realism to the
Ah,
fight. So the whole thing to make those fights, it was all in the head. Then when we get on the location, in Indonesia to prep those fights and all that, then I train with the stunt guys first, and I have my previous operator, and we design the shots.
mhm,
He come up with some advices for me because for this movie I got to say I brought a very very good camera operator, action camera operator, like my friend Steven. He's a very 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 good camera operator. He's one of the best action camera operator I know. So
wow.
I knew that to get the feeling I wanted and for like the director and the producers to be happy, I needed to bring someone that was able to translate what I create. Because otherwise, if you don't have someone that can film what you create, it's very complicated, man. You get
Unhead,
into
right?
arguments with people on set, and then that's it. You're getting frustrated.
Mm,
So by bringing a very good camera operator like Steven,
mm,
I was sure that what I'm creating is going to be captured. So that was the whole plan from the start. I wanted, him to be a part of it with me, and that like the director like this can understand. Okay, we this is like a whole team that is coming with me, not just myself. I have a
Right,
whole
right.
team of talented people around me. So that's how it was. And the whole process was this to give like for Monkey Man, the whole process was to give a feeling of like frustration and survival in every single one of those fights. You know, we didn't want to make Dev look like a superhero. We wanted him to look more like an underdog, finding every way possible to survive those interactions he's having in the movie. You can see it in the trailer. There are a couple of instances when, for example, is there that shot where he's trying to
Hmm.
jump out of the window, and then he slams himself against the window. It's like kind of like, he's more like a people's champ,
Right.
and you root for him in the movie, kind of like, yes, you can do it. So in a way, we didn't want to go like John Wick. We wanted to give it something a little bit more, I would say, a little bit more serious, in a way that John Wick has a lot of amazing fight scenes. They have like that style for
Right.
John Wick, but I never intended to kind of like remake something like John Wick.
Hmm.
I wanted to give it something more like uh, that's gonna more close to a very story, like to a story, and more close to giving like the audience something like, okay, this guy is surviving here. Like
Mm.
he's not always in control. He's just trying to get through like the
Right.
whole every fight scenes. So that was the whole concept. Like in the movie, you can see there are some of the ring fights. They are pretty brutal. Like he's not the hero there.
Mhm.
But yeah, that was the whole point, to give it like more like of a gritty, dirty, and very like a survival kind of like aspect.
Wow, wow. Yeah, I say I absolutely cannot wait to see the movie. Like I saw a fight clip that was released online that is I think it's in the kitchen.
Yes.
Oh, man, awesome, dude. Awesome work.
Thank you.
So let's talk about Dave. Like how impressed are you with him? Did he do a lot of his own stunts or?
He did everything, man. Like I'm seriously, man. He did like, you have a stunt double to for the, for like, let's say like the hard hits, or like something like, like getting hit by a car or something. But as far as fight scene, he's done everything, man. Like the whole thing of like that kitchen fight, as you see,
Yeah.
that's him, all of it. Every single fight scene in the movie, he's done a remarkable job. Because at
Wow.
first, okay, you get like someone like Dev Patel, who's known to be a very, very talented actor.
Mhm.
Uh, he's an Oscar nominee, and he did movies like, like Slumdog Millionaire, Hotel
Right.
Mumbai, Lion. Those are very, very acclaimed movies for the story and the drama, the acting, right?
Yeah.
But then you get an actor like this to come and do these fight scenes, right? At first, I was almost like thinking, like, I don't know how we're gonna pull that off. But then the first time when I saw him move, I was like, man, this guy is like, he's special, he's unique.
Wow.
Like he's moving better than some of my stunt guys here.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I I was like really literally going like, okay, then we've got a shot at this, like,
Mm.
and he didn't shy away from getting hurt, man. I mean, he broke his hand in the he broke I think two of his toes,
Wow. Jeez.
uh the elbow, uh he, I'm telling you, man, the guy was ferocious. He was doing every single fight scenes by himself, and also he was directing the movie,
Hmm.
and he was very specific about what he wanted, which is like, okay, I would make a fight, then he would always give me a detail to change. Okay, I need this to be this way. I need that to be this way. So it was never really like only only me telling him, okay, that's going to be the fight. He
Hmm.
always had inputs. And that made my fight scenes even better because, he was even having input about the camera work, all the camera work and all these movements. That was mostly him telling us, okay, I want this movement, I want that movement. So we had fights that had like more cuts at first because we were thinking, okay, maybe it's going to be easier for him to perform. But then we were like, when he started to perform, we're like, well, fuck the cuts. I mean, like, let's just keep the
Yeah.
camera
Let's
rolling
just
and
do it,
let's
right?
just have him do these things
Yeah.
because, and it was his idea. He was like, yeah, I want to give it a shot. Let's just shoot until I can do it no more.
Oh wow.
So, yeah, he was very talented, man. I'm telling you, man. You know, I've worked with Keanu Reeves 2 times. I've worked on Man of Tai Chi, and then I worked on John Wick 4. I worked on John Wick 4 as well.
Hmm.
It's the same kind of person. He's passionate about what he's doing, and he wants to do it. You know, it's not like he's shy. He's shy to do it. He doesn't mind getting his hands dirty. So yeah, props to him, man. He did the whole result of that movie. It's because of him, and he didn't give up.
That's so great, man. Because like as you said, like when we think of Dave Patel, you don't think of action star right away, you know.
No,
And then when I saw the little clip that I saw, I was like, what the like, this guy is good.
yes,
This guy is good.
yeah, that was my reaction when I first saw him move. I was like, man, this guy can actually deliver stuff,
Mm.
like he can actually pull that off,
Ah,
because, like it's different when you do a movie with like someone like Scott Adkins, Tony Jaa, or Iko Uwais, or someone that has like a martial art background. Okay.
mhm,
But then when you get a movie like with an A-list actor who's known for drama, it's kind of like you start to think, okay, maybe
mhm.
we're gonna have to do something around and like to find other ways to make it
Right.
work. I never had to do this, man. Like it was always like it was working all
Mhm.
the time. So yeah, and
Yeah.
he did. I don't know how many fight scenes we have in that movie. The whole way the way the movie is constructed is like we have like very long action pieces.
Mhm,
It's kind of like almost like a video game, like a big action piece. And it goes
mhm.
quiet, and then we go again for a big action piece. Yeah, so that's how it works.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm so glad you mentioned like you didn't do a lot of cuts and you know all the shakety cam cuts thing. That's
No, we didn't do that. We have some ring fights in the
Mhm,
movie, but those ring fights are more like to tell the story about Dev,
mhm,
his character in the movie. So those we kind of like wanted to give it a different feeling. We didn't want to have like very clean, like we didn't want to shoot them too clean. We wanted to
mhm.
give like almost a feeling of disgust
Oh,
and
right.
like shame and like kind of like not like we didn't want to be like too clean with the cameras there. We almost wanted people to feel like, what in the fuck is this place? Like
Ah,
when they watch the
right,
thing,
right, right.
the fights. So then when it was time to step out of the ring and like do other like scenes in the movie, then
Mhm.
we got more like, let's say, cleaner with the camera and more wider angles and more of like less cuts because again he could perform it, so props to him.
Awesome, awesome. So besides doing the action choreography, you're actually in the movie too, right?
Yes, man, because basically we couldn't bring anyone because of COVID, man.
Right.
You're doing a whole movie with a stunt team and you cannot bring other people in, so we had like this stunt team from Indonesia,
Hmm.
and we had to be very careful how they got selected because the movie takes place in India. So we have to have people looking Indians to be part of the movie, right? So there was a character in the wrestling den where Dev fights, where basically in the movie is when he's wearing that monkey mask.
Hmm.
So we had this character who was basically like one of the fighters in the wrestling den and supposed to be like the like beating Dev every every time Dev fights with him, like basically he's getting beaten up by this guy. So I couldn't find anybody. Like Dev wanted like someone like ripped body, like at least 6 feet, and that could fight. So I was like, man, can we bring someone? Like, no, we cannot bring anybody. The producer couldn't bring anyone because of the whole COVID thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, Then he looked at me. He's like, "Well, what about you?" I'm like, "Okay, fine, I'll do it." I've played in many movies anyway, so I was like, "Okay, I'll do it." So like this, it's done. So I
Hmm.
played in the movie. I did this, and yeah, that was kind of like I always end up getting in the movies that I choreograph most of the time. So that was good too.
But I'm glad, man. I'm glad, man, because you always knock it out of the park in front of the camera too, man. Awesome,
Thank
man.
you.
So you've worked with so many legends, Jackie Chan, Donnie Yen, Keanu Reeves, Scott Atkins. I mean, the list goes on and on. So, is there anyone still on your bucket list that you haven't worked with that you want to work with?
Uh,
Because you work with
right.
all of the big legends already.
Yeah, man, it's like I'm starting to kind of like feel like, man, like uh, I don't know, man. Since like all these things happen, like it keeps coming to me. I'm very thankful for the
Hmm.
opportunities. I'm very blessed that I've had so many great opportunities to work with people like Jackie, Donnie, Scott, all these guys that
Hmm.
I used to watch when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I used to watch all of their movies. So right now, in a way, like I kind of like feel like uh, I don't know what's next. I don't have this thing of like, oh, I would love to kind of like work with this guy or that guy.
Um,
Right now, I feel that the most important part for me at the moment is to be a good dad.
there
That
you go. Yeah.
the thing that I really want to be is I want to be a good dad. I want to be a good husband. I've been blessed with all my dreams, like to work with different people. So right now, I'm not really chasing working with anyone. I'm just feeling like, okay, well, if anyone appreciate my talent and wants to hire me, then I'm up for it. But all this thing of like really being eager to go for it and like sacrifice so much by not seeing my family and all that stuff. I think, right now I want to be a good dad and I want to be like a good husband to my wife. But yeah, if you tell me anyone that I would like to work with, I don't know, maybe Tony Jaa, maybe I would like to do a movie with Tony Jaa.
Okay.
That would be nice. Eco, I worked with him just at the start of the year.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, Tony Jaa. I think that's the only guy left, Tony Jaa.
Only legend left.
Yeah, Tony, if you're watching this, man, I speak Thai. Give me a part or let me choreograph one of your movie. I speak Thai.
Yeah,
We
come
will
on.
understand perfectly each other. And my wife is Thai and my son is half Thai. So let's do it.
Put it out there to the world. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
Tony Jaa, let's do it.
Yeah, so yeah, I definitely get what you're saying. So, everything else that comes is just sprinkle on top, right? Bonus.
Yeah, it's like bonus, man. It's like you have a nice cake and that's the
Mhm.
sharing of the cake. That's it.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Let's talk a little. I know you probably can't talk too much about it, but custom front line,
Yeah.
Nicholas.
Yeah.
Cannot wait for that. If you could tell us anything about that, maybe like I think you're the main villain in that one. Is that right?
Yeah. So same again. Props to Mike Leader, got me on the movie as well. At first they were supposed to have someone else playing that movie,
Ah.
but uh, with the COVID and the whole quarantine thing, it didn't work out. So again, I got called last minute again. I just finished doing that Ganapat movie with Tiger Shroff.
Hmm.
And then Mike told me, okay, do you want to go to Hong Kong and do this movie with Nicolas Say? I was like, yeah, sure. But then here's the thing: you need to go to Belgium for 3 weeks first because you cannot fly from Paris because you couldn't fly from Paris because it was banned,
Ah.
and then you have to do a quarantine in Hong Kong for 2 weeks. So I was like, okay, am I getting paid? He's like, yeah, sure, you're getting paid. Okay, I'll do it. So I did a quarantine, got on the set, and from there, the movie I've shot. Maybe I stayed in Hong Kong from February until June,
Hmm.
and I had probably like 25 days of shooting on the movie.
Ah, okay.
Uh, it was mainly acting, to be honest, a lot of acting scenes and all that, and I had like a nice end fight with Nicolas Tse at the end of the movie. Right now, they are in post-production for the movie. They had like a second trailer that they showed at the Film Art 2024. So I think it will come out uh, around probably like after summer or during summer. I'm not sure yet, but I think around that area. I read somewhere it was around summertime. But it was good to work with Nick Tse, man. He's a good performer, very humble guy. Same like Dev does all of his fighting. It's no pressure on the set. It was good, and also working with Herman Liu and the producers at Emperor Films. It was awesome, man. Again, like another childhood dream coming to like coming real. That was great. But yeah, it's gonna be a good movie, man. Like it's gonna be a very very good movie with some great action scenes. With it was Jackie Chan stunt team who choreographed the fights.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Nicholas is one of the one of the only one few left in Hong Kong that's doing it.
Yeah, he's having a door wide open for him right now
Mhm.
because Donnie is doing more like American movies right now.
Right,
Is he doing Chinese movies, but he's doing more American productions right now. Then you have Wu Jing,
right.
uh, who's like more like in the mainland China.
Mhm.
But I think in Hong Kong I think Nick is kind of like on his way up right now.
Mhm.
Then you've got Andy as well, Andy on, and you've got also Philip NG.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, like you have like a new kind of like a new generation if in Hong
Mhm.
Kong of some of these guys who used to do kind of like movies a little bit earlier. Now they are getting they're getting pushed to the top now.
They're getting their time to shine now. Yeah.
Time to shine. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome, man. Well, anyway, well, before I let you go, Brahim, if you could tell the fans one reason that they have to go see Monkey Man on April 5th, what you
Okay.
got to tell them, man?
All right. If you like violence, if you like um, great fight scenes, well choreographed, well shot, if you like a good story of revenge, if you like acting, is like good performance acting wise, go watch this movie. You've got a great cast, you've got a great cinematographer who did Whiplash and also Silent Night with John Woo. You've got like very, very good fight choreography, very violent, like kind of like in the same direction like the Raid or like the Night Come for Us, similar to this kind of style. It's shot very well. Go and watch the movie. You won't be disappointed. I'm telling you guys. And also, uh, it's good to watch a movie like that because you support like something that was really made like out of like passion and a lot of determination because the movie didn't have a huge budget. It was not a very big budget. And it's kind of like the same way as John Wick Part 1. It's
Ah,
not like a very big budget movie, but people appreciate it because people want to have like they want movies like that. The people nowadays they want simple story with good action.
real
You
action.
don't yeah you don't real action, that's it. People don't really want to get like all these wires and all these unrealistic actions. People want to see stuff that they think looks realistic. That's the whole thing. And if you like that, go watch Monkey Man, guys. Support us, please. Let's
Awesome.
make it like a huge hit.
Yeah, for sure. For Brahim, I'll be the first one there. I can't wait to see April 5th.
Thank you, man.
And thank you so much again, Brahim, for your time and congratulations on the new baby and
Yes.
good luck with everything.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, brother.